If you're currently struggling to grow your land flipping business past $100,000 a year profit, this is for you. Here are 5 fixes to take your business from 100K a year to $500,000 plus per year in net profit. For those that don't know, my name is Femi. I have made well over $1 million flipping land over the past few years, and I help other people do the exact same thing. This business model has absolutely changed my life. I'm currently just literally sitting by the pool and decided to make a video today. So, um, yeah, all because I built this business. I built processes around it so that I can chill. Anyways, if your business is currently stuck at $100,000 a year, or you just feel like you can't grow your land flipping business, even if you're past $100,000 a year, here are a few fixes for you. And the first one really is that your marketing sucks. If your business is not growing right now, your marketing probably sucks. Most people don't pay any attention to their branding or how their public perception actually looks online when sellers look you up. So, first and foremost, what does your mailer actually look like? Is it just a generic 2 page? Does it have a photo on it? Does it have any QR codes on it? Are you using the same copy that everyone else is using? Because if those are the things that you're doing, then you're probably not getting good responses. Right. Also, on the outside of your mailer, what does it actually look like? If the outside of your mailer is just a regular 2 page window, no stamps, no colored stamps, nothing like that, you're probably not getting very good results. You need to indicate to a owner, to a seller, that you're serious about buying their property. The only way to do that is by having really good marketing and branding. We want to be building trust with sellers from the exact moment that we send out mail. We're not doing this by sending out generic templates. There's just no way you're going to be able to do that if you're sending out generic templates. And so when clients come to me, that's the first thing that I look at. I look at what their mailer actually looks like. And most of the time it's just a generic 2 page, something that they got from someone's course and didn't add anything to it. And unfortunately, most people will just actually tell you to send out the mail. And that's the opposite of what you should do. We need to be branding our marketing. We need to be writing our mailers so that way we're speaking to specific people. And even further than that, we need to be split testing for highest and best responses. What's getting the best responses? Where am I getting the most deals from? And we also need to consistently be marketing. So all of these things tie in together. And if you're not doing these things or thinking about these things and you're just sending out mail, like, hell yeah, I'm going to send out 5,000 mailers and see what happens. Well, that's why you're not getting any results. If you're not paying attention to how your website looks, if you don't have testimonials on your website, if the first thing on your website is not a call to action, then that's probably why you're not getting any results. Sellers don't have time. These people are also not, I mean, you're not their first priority. So if you're not someone's first priority, you need to do everything in your power to make sure they give you a call and make sure that you capture a lead. If you're not doing this, that's why you're not getting any deals done. That's why you cannot grow. Second, you don't have any processes. So most people have no processes in their business, and it's just kind of like running and gunning. It's like, okay, I get a deal in. It's kind of like running around like a headless chicken, and hopefully I get this deal done. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. And if I don't, well, then it's the world's fault. And this is because you don't have any processes built out. So you don't have any process for actually sending out your marketing. You don't have any processes for market selection. You don't have any process for talking to a seller, getting a deal under contract, negotiating. You don't have any process for listing a property. You don't have any process for opening escrow. Like, you just have no process whatsoever. And it's just like every time I do this, it's just kind of like, it's just going to be like random. And it's not a way to run your business at all. Like, you need to have process. So in my company, we have process for marketing, market selection, talking to sellers, reviewing calls, reviewing our KPIs, opening escrow. There are processes for every single one of these things. And if you don't have that, then you don't have a business. For you to run a business where you are able to sub out tasks and hire employees, you first have to have process. And I think most people are so concerned with just like hustling and making money and making their next dime, making their next 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000, that they forget about these processes. And it's really as simple as recording what you're doing that is successful. What are you doing that works? And see, I'm actually running this business, so I know what works and what doesn't work. I know what processes work and I know what doesn't work. There are things that worked for us 3 years ago that don't work today. And so I've been able to change this. And so the better I become at my business, the better I'm able to become at processes, because I know what works and I know what doesn't work. And so, just as an example, like, how many times on average are you following up with the seller, right? Do you know how to talk to a seller, how to get a property under contract, how to build rapport on that first call? What's your process like for that? How quickly are you following up with a seller from the time that the lead hits your CRM? If you're doing this any faster, if you're doing this any slower than 25 minutes, the odds are that person's not going to call you back. or it's going to be really difficult to get a hold of them. So these are all processes that I implement into my business just to make sure that we're consistently able to grow and do deals. Third, you lack confidence in everything that you do. You probably lack confidence if you're not growing. And it sounds silly, but there's something to be said about being extremely confident in yourself and your ability to take the risk, send the mail, have the conversations, and close the deals. And most people don't have that confidence. And I can hear it in calls that I've broken down for people. I can hear it in how you're running the business. I can just hear it and I can see it. You need to have like unwavering confidence if you're going to take the risk and run a business like this and actually grow the business. And most people don't have that. The only way to have that is by doing it consistently, really, is by taking the risk day in and day out and putting your money on the line, putting your time on the line, taking the risk. And for me, I mean, I've done that year after year after year, taking the risks, and I've made a lot of money from it. I have, but I've also taken a shit ton of risk. I have. No doubt about that. But if you take the risk consistently, if you talk to the sellers, if you send out the marketing, if you have the conversations, you are going to build a lot of confidence. And the only way to build confidence is by literally doing it every day, putting in the work. That's it. And so if you're on the phone and you feel like you lack confidence with the seller, you need to have 1,000 more conversations, 2,000 more conversations until you get better. If you feel like your marketing is not good, well, then you need to be split testing. You need to be tracking your best responses. You need to be tracking your best leads from each marketing campaign. You need to have more confidence in how you're running your business as well, because if you don't have this confidence, then ultimately you're not going to see any results because you don't believe in yourself. Like, that's it. You have to have an inherent amount of belief in yourself if you want to run a business. You got to grow. And if you don't grow, then you're going to be upset. You're going to be sad. You're going to be wondering why you're not making any more money and why you're seeing all these wins in all these different communities and you're not winning. So you need to have way more fucking confidence in yourself if you want to grow beyond $100,000 a year. That's just the truth. Now, the fourth thing, which I did touch on this a little bit earlier, but you're not tracking your numbers. Let's say you've done 5 deals, 5 to 10 deals. Okay. You've done 5 to 10 deals. Do you know how many conversations it took for you to have those deals? Do you know how many mailers to a deal that it took for you to get that deal, or text messages to a deal? Do you know? Do you know how many offers you had to make for you to get one deal? Do you know? If you don't know any of these numbers, that's why you're not able to do more deals, because all of this is randomized. To you, it's random. To you, it's playing the lottery. But to me, I know that when I send 10,000 mailers, I can make $100,000. And I consistently do that. So this is the difference between me and you. The fact that I track my numbers, I know exactly where I'm getting my money from and how to get my money consistently. So that's why I make money consistently. That's why I do more deals than you, because I'm tracking my numbers. That's it. If you're not tracking your numbers, if you think that, that I can't do that yet, or I shouldn't do that yet, well, there's a reason why you're not growing beyond $100,000 a year. There's a reason. And that's the reason. You need to be able to track your numbers. So tracking conversations had, how many people did we follow up with? How many offers did we send? How many contracts did I send? I need to track all these things. If I'm not tracking these things, well, then I'm failing. Track your numbers like your life depends on it. Track your numbers. If you you got to track your numbers. And it's crazy because I see so many people just not doing that. Like, how are you not month over month? Track your KPIs, track your growth, track where you stagnated, track where you declined, track these things. Just track it. That's it. Lastly, and this is a really big one because a lot of people do small deals. You seem to think that you doing small deals is somehow going to be easier for you. You need to be consistently aiming for large profit deals, $70,000 profit or more on a consistent basis. How do you do this? You do this by being in markets where you're offering $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 consistently. Make big offers and you will have profitable deals, highly profitable deals. So make more offers, make bigger offers. The other thing too is people worry about funding. Don't worry about funding. Money will always find good deals. Always. So as long as you have a good deal, I will fund it. You come to me with a $400,000 or $500,000 deal, I'll fund it. As long as it's a good deal, no problem. So be confident in going after these larger deals. And really, a lot of these themes tie in together. You're not going after big deals because you don't have the confidence to go after the big deal. Your marketing sucks because you're not tracking your numbers. These things all tie in together. So start going after larger deals. Stop going after things that are going to make you $10,000 and $15,000. Who wants to do that? And yes, do I still do deals that I make 20K on? Yeah, all the time, because those are layups. They're easy. But I also do a lot of deals where we make 100 grand on, 200 grand on, 70 grand on, and those make up most of the pot, and it takes less effort. And honestly, most of the time they're easier to do. So stop worrying about funding. Stop worrying about, oh, I'm not going to have the capital to fund this deal, or it might be a little bit harder, so I'm not going to go after it. I mean, oh, you know what? One more bonus. Most people have absolutely no idea how to negotiate, and that's why you end up locking properties up for way higher than you need to be locking them up at, because you're not getting a seller's full story. You're not building any rapport with the seller. You don't know how to talk to you don't know how to talk to a seller. You just don't. And so when they give you a number, you just accept that and say, "Oh, okay," and tuck your tail and walk away. Why are we doing that? Have quality conversations with sellers. Figure out what their exact problem is. Make offers, and don't be afraid to make the offers. It's like, if a seller tells you a price, it's like almost like you're scared to make the counter offer. Learn how to negotiate. If you don't know how to negotiate, you need to practice. Practice as much as possible. Hey, you know what? I can't do 150. I can do 120. I can do 120, and I can do 120 within the next 30 days for sure. And based upon this pain point that you told me, you're going to need the 120. And 120 is better than nothing. 120 is better than a 150 that you're probably not going to get. So learn how to talk to these sellers, learn how to negotiate with them, learn how to build rapport so that you're able to negotiate with them and they're happy and amenable to your offers. You do all these things, you do them consistently every day, day in and day out, your land business will grow past $100,000 profit per year.